Hey guys, it's Kelly. I am up on the Crafty Maven channel today with a process video, and the mood board for this week is just so pretty, so tropical, and I am redoing my honeymoon album, and I will go into some of the reasons why I chose to do so, and there's some parts in the video that are kind of you can see what I'm doing, so I will just explain as I'm going and then let you know why I'm doing what I am. So I removed the 4 photos that I have. We went to Maui 18 years ago, so these photos, that was pre-digital, and I've got the negative somewhere, but for me, if I can just reuse what I have, then I'm going to do that. So what I decided is I have these 4 photos, and I was going to trim them down somewhat to get some of the things that didn't need to be in the picture. There were several that had this woman's head in them, and you don't need to see her. So I trimmed them down to see first of all whether or not I wanted to use 2 or 3, and then as I'm looking at them, I decide that I really only need to have 2 photos tell the story. I'm not somebody that I feel like that I have to put 10 photos of the same event to tell the story unless they are 10 amazing photos. So I just picked the 2 best ones and went from there. So one of the reasons why I am redoing my honeymoon album, the first one is I never finished it. I never finished it because I never was liking the way things were coming out. I started doing this album back in 2002, and this was when there weren't really a lot of choices in scrapbooking other than like the paper people, and if you missed that era, be thankful. They like little people you could put together, and a lot of them had like babyish faces, and the papers that were available were very theme and almost cutesy. So it was a real struggle to get some of these, pages to where I really liked them. And when I say that I didn't like the album, I would do a page and then I didn't want to even look at the album. And then the other thing was I never journaled on some of the pages that really needed journaling. And, there's certain things I don't remember. I mean, my gosh, it was 18 years ago. But there are certain things that I do, and I just decided that I'm perfectly content redoing something. If, nothing says that you have to redo something or that you can't redo something. And by golly, if there's a scrapbook rule to be broken, I'm going to find it and I'm going to break it. Just because, there's so many rules in life that you really can't break that you need to follow. I'm going to try to rebel when I can. And this is a pretty safe way to do so. So the collection I am using is by Authentique, and it is called Utopia. And this is not a collection that I would normally pick out and choose. I managed to stumble upon a teeny tiny scrapbook store, and when I was looking at it, I found the 12 by 12 sheet a paper that had the pineapples on it, and I just really liked the print. Authentique has some beautiful, beautiful papers, and the feel of them is rather thick, and I just thought, I knew that I could use that for a few of the pages, and I bought it. And then a little bit later on Scrapbook Steals, I think, or another company like that, they had the whole collection, so I decided to just get it and see what I could get done with my album, and see if I could figure out something that I liked. So what I decided to do was take that green marble paper and just make a horizontal border on one side, and I am going to gut it because that paper is very pretty and I definitely want to use that or have the option to use that in my album. So I'm just pulled out that lighter yellow piece of paper, and I have the 6x6 pad and I have the 12x12 papers. And I wanted to try to use the 6x6 pad unless I needed the 12x12 size. And I just felt like that I really wanted a little bit of that lighter yellow for the whole length of the page, or length of the yellow photo mat underneath the photos. So I decided that, oh, you see me fighting with my fan. My fan goes and it's making the tissue paper rustle around. So I decided that I wanted to just put a little bit of tissue paper under one of the photos. There really isn't a focal point other than just me making it a little bit different, just to add a little bit of visual interest and texture to the layout. So what I am doing is I can be rather fussy about certain things, and I try not to be, but I just find I don't fight it and I'm much happier. And I'm just trimming the edges of the different sheets of the paper. What I want them to be is, relatively straight and even and not jagged. And sometimes when you're cutting it, or at least with me, I can get a jagged edge. And then I ruffled them up after I stapled the two together to give it even more texture. It's not that I want the tissue paper to be clean. Usually tissue paper is not unless you get it right out of the package. So I didn't want to make it like that. It's just me trying to make it controlled with the texture part. So I just penciled off my lines where the paper so that I could cut as much and save as much of that background paper as possible. And then I'm just using my mat, the ruler on my mat as a guide. I know several people use the white desk, and it does make the video look so nice, but I just love to be able to measure. And it's just one of those things. I love my T-square ruler. I'm all for people that can just eyeball it and go with it. I have done it before, and there are times when I do it and I love it when I do it. But for me to be able to use my ruler or, line things up on my page, it just takes some of the guesswork out of things, and I just find that I enjoy doing that. So I'm just trying to figure out where I want that pineapple pattern paper to go. I wanted that red tag with the hula girl to overlap the pineapple paper, a little bit of the photo, the yellow paper, and a little bit of the white. And I wanted to kind of make it all seem cohesive. I find that when you have things that overlap more than one thing, it just makes it feel like it's supposed to be there. So I apologize for this. I tried multiple ways to edit some of this inking out of the video because it is kind of monotonous to see, just you inking the edges of all of the papers. And I did that just to add a little bit more definition. These papers do have a distressed look to them, and it just helped, even though it was the same collection, it just helped bring things together. But every single time I went to do this with iMovie, I have no idea what it was doing, but it was like adding time on as opposed to letting me edit it out. I was able to edit other parts of the video, but for whatever reason, this inking part, it had like a little voodoo, I guess, put on it, and it was not letting me touch it. So I'm sorry, bear with me as I ink all of the stickers and all of the paper layers. So I am liking the way that this layout is coming together, and I'll be honest with you, it is so much more of my style. And I totally get you know, and still love some of the pages that I did, you know, however many years ago when I started, 16 years ago. And it's not that I go and redo a bunch of my older layouts. I do, you know, reserve the right to redo anything that I want to. But for this, I just found that, you know, it's not something that I wanted to pull out and I wanted anybody to look at and enjoy. And, you know, this was pre-digital, so, you know, didn't have a camera, phone, you know, the photos that we, you know, we had to bring our film because that was one thing that we knew was very expensive in Hawaii was film, because I guess they knew you were stuck without it. And, you know, we didn't want to have to buy any. And so it was always like, you know, is it picture worthy? And we both have it on our wish list to be able to go back again. And, you know, just for me, just to be able to take hundreds and hundreds of pictures, because it is so beautiful and there's so many things to see and so many things that I wish I could remember and so many things that I want to see again so that I can remember. It truly is one of the most beautiful places I have ever been. So at this point, I'm thinking that I just want the title on this. There's going to be a companion page with some hula girls in different colors that I'm going to do that's going to have more of those reds, which is why I chose to have the pops of red on this page as well, and the hibiscus flower in that upper left hand corner and in the hula girl. So I did put a lot of Heidi shine on this layout. I just felt like it screamed for it. And, you know, the title's going to have some gold thickers. And I wanted it to really dress up the layout and play up on the gold. So this is getting towards the end of what you see me do on the video. I do come back at the end and show you the gold stitching that I added around the borders, and you can see close-ups of the Heidi shine and the enamel dots that I place. And one little thing that I will have to say, for those of you that are older like me and remember pre-internet, I just have to say this is one of those deals where it is so cool to have, because I was able to find the particular luau that we went to, and it just reminded me of some things that we saw and experienced at this luau, and I was able to find exactly where it was. So I was so thrilled with that. And back when I was trying to do this layout in 2002, there was just stuff that it just wasn't out there like it is now. And it's just amazing the changes that I've seen in my lifetime, and I don't even really consider myself that old. But anyway, it just made it so much fun to be able to have a page now that is reflective of what I would really want to see in my honeymoon album. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and be sure to check out the Crafty Maven. I've got all their details below, and I also have my details as well if you want to check me out. So thanks so much. You guys have a great day, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.